We have done with planning. Just write a small heading: resource mobilization. Quickly we can cover this. Why? Because it is mentioned in the syllabus. That's why. Otherwise, resource mobilization is mainly done, by the market. Okay. So just write resource mobilization. The meaning, the meaning you can write. It refers to the means, modes, and policy of raising funds. So resource mobilization means it's all about the means, modes, and policy of raising funds for financing the planned projects. So we have completed planning. So this is basically to finance the planned project, how you raise the fund. See, resource mobilization, otherwise it is not that difficult. It is very simple only. We are discussing this in different modules in detail. But since this word is there in the syllabus, if it is asked in mains, just you need to have some contents. Okay. So there are mainly two sources. You can write one, internal sources. Internal sources. Under that you can write balance from current revenues. Balance from current revenues. Balance from current revenues. You can write it as BCR. Balance from current revenue equal to revenue receipts minus non-planned expenditure. So here we are looking for what? For planned expenditure. So revenue receipt means whatever you have received and whatever you are spending for non-planned expenditure. There are some non-planned expenditures that we will discuss in the chapter of budget. So just understand, the balance from current revenue means revenue receipts minus non-planned expenditure. That is what you have for what? For the planned expenditure. This is very simple. So BCR. Okay, so in case if this is asked in prelims, you should be in a position to know what is it. Revenue receipts minus non-planned expenditure. That is what? Balance from current revenues. So what is balance from current revenue? It is basically the income available for planned expenditure. Okay, so balance from current revenue is actually the income, just write there, income available for planned expenditure. Because see, when we discuss about budget now, we will say that this is not significant now. Why it is not significant now is because now there is no division between plan and non-plan expenditure. Okay, there is no distinction between, and why it is abolished, what was the reason why it is abolished, which committee recommended for the abolition of plan, non-plan expenditure. Everything we will cover in that chapter. Okay, so I have just told you this is one of the source of resource mobilization. Then additional resource mobilization, you can write surcharge, cess, etc. Second, you can say additional resource mobilization. Additional resource mobilization, surcharge, cess, surcharge, etc. Third way you can raise fund is actually surplus of public sector. Surplus of public sector. Okay, so what all things will come under this? You can write it include profit of PSUs, surplus of public sector. So it include public sector. It include profit of PSUs, profit of PSU, departmental undertakings. Departmental undertaking means like railways. Okay, bracket if you want, you can write railways, departmental undertakings, and autonomous bodies. Autonomous bodies means like RBI, okay, universities, like you get some fees, challans, etc. Right? So all those. So surplus of public sector, that include profit of PSU, departmental undertaking, autonomous bodies, etc. Next point you can write borrowings and miscellaneous capital receipts. Borrowings, okay, and miscellaneous capital receipts. Miscellaneous capital receipts means we will discuss in the chapter of budget what is capital receipts. Okay, what is revenue receipts and what is capital receipts we'll discuss. So you can write in bracket miscellaneous capital receipts include disinvestment. Disinvestment means actually sale of any asset by government. Disinvestment. Disinvestment. Okay, next point you can write deficit financing, but we have already just before told you it should be stopped. and under the economic policy also, under IMF and World Bank, under Washington Consensus also there is a provision, and then FRBM Act is also there with respect to this. So deficit financing, that means printing of money should not be there, no printing of currency.
Sir, at that time it is stopped.
No, even now also this is not good, printing of currency, because it won't create resource. There is no resource creation. What will actually happen is there is a transfer of resource from one sector to the other. That is what actually happening. I can show you here. Let's say there is 1,000 rupee in the market, okay, and let's say 100 goods are there. So in the market 1,000 rupees there, 100 goods are there. This 1,000 rupees chasing 100 goods. So what is the price of one good? 10 rupee, right? One good will be 10 rupee. Let's say out of this 700 is with the private, and let's say 300 is with the public. This is public, this is private. So how many goods private can buy? Private can buy 70 because one costs 10. Public can buy 30. Now imagine government is printing, let's say 400 rupee extra. So it will become 1,400 in the market. So 1,400 chasing the same goods 100. So one good will cost how much? 14 rupee now. Are you following me? 14 rupee. So now private will have same 700. Since government printed, government will have this 300 plus this 400. So 700. So both are equally now. So now even the private as well as government have to buy at 14. So same goods, private will get 50, government will get 50. So what is actually happening? From the 70, 20 is actually transferred to government. So there is no resource creation by printing money, just increasing money supply. Inflation is there, so resource is transferred. That's why you should not go for deficit financing. You can write one more. Next point. So first one we have done, second one. Internal source we have done, now external sources. External sources. So external, again within that you can write two. Bilateral and then multilateral. Multilateral means like World Bank, IMF, etc. Bilateral between countries, okay. So bilateral, again it can be grants, loans. What is the difference between grants and loans? You should be knowing this by now. Grants are something which is given free of cost, you don't want to return back. Loans you have to return back, okay. So here also grants and loans. Okay, now you can just write one point there. Trends since independence. Trends since independence. First point, write faster please. I have a class now. BCR share increased. BCR share increased, but this is not that important now. That means revenue available for planned expenditure is actually increased. So BCR actually increased significantly. Earlier it was negative. After paying the non-plan expenditure, nothing was there. So it is actually increased. Second point, public sector surplus increased significantly. Public sector surplus increased significantly. Okay, now around over 2 lakh crore is there. Okay, so budget is around 21 to 25 lakh crore. So 2 lakh means close to 10% of the budget is coming from where? It is coming from PSU, that is contributed by this public sector surplus. Okay, so huge surplus is there, just for your knowledge. In the 12th 5-year plan, in fact the contribution was 25% from public sector surplus. Now third, borrowings marginally decreased. External sources decreased. See, this is actually a positive sign, right? External sources and borrowings are actually decreasing. It is actually a positive sign. Public sector surplus increasing is also a positive sign. So this is the current trend. So if you get a question on resource allocation or resource mobilization, these are the points that you need to incorporate. Other than that, what all things that we will study in the different other modules has to be there in your answer, in case if you get a question in mains. Okay, so can we stop here now?